Field 4, race 1 on parade. 1 Cleveland Hershey, Mario Baerja for Sarah Baerja and Michel Carrier Incorporated and Gaston Jean Carrier Incorporated. Number 2 is Last Hall, Scott Young for Jason Sherman and Burton Betty Sherman. Number 3 is Gaelic Piper, Jason Ryan for John Yake, and the owners are Jordan McRawl and Deborah McRail and Bethany Craig. For Seacan Trot, Brad McDonough for David Fry and Stuart and Patricia Bolander. Number 5 is What Have I Done? Colin Kelly for Bill Budd and James Wilson. And number 6, Maple Shefford, Sammy Fillion for Chantal Mitchell and Jean-Denis Pelletier. And number 7 is Tomble Twister, Dave Frankie Boughton for Don Lindsay and Paul Lindsay. It's a field of 7 for race number 1. Let's get a look at this field for the first race. And, well, we're going to start out with What Have I Done? Well, I'll tell you what he did last time out. Not, well, 2 breaks, but you're banking on him doing much better here this evening, Rob, at the first dash.
Bounce back effort. That's what I called him as one of my plays tonight. Bounce back effort for the 5. What have I done? I thought, Gary, June 5th, it was as professional as a lifetime debut you'll see from a racehorse. He got away 5th off the gate, was nice and relaxed, came first over, and won with ease. And, we had Damsel Sealster's second. Capulet was 3rd in that race, kind of looking for room late. That horse has since come back to be victorious and actually is my spot play on tonight's card, moving up in class. So I love What Have I Done tonight. I just want to see him kind of kept relaxed like he is right now. Last time out seemed a little bit hot, and working from that pole position I think didn't help his chances. So moving out to post 5, I think he gets back of the win column tonight.
Number 4, Seacan Trot, has had 5 runner-up finishes, including last time out, and I thought we got to see that 3-year-old filly trot pretty well. Gets off the gate nicely.
Yeah, she sure does. And, she's been racing, okay at Mohawk Park as well, just kind of hooking tougher horses, right, in recent efforts. I mean, you saw she was picking up pieces earlier in the spring on the big track. And a nice addition to the river last time out. Post 7, rocketed to the lead. It held a clear margin for much of that mile. Capulet, I thought, was well in hand and going past, but she was clearly the best of the rest. And right now, 4-1. You convinced me she's the value on the board. I was hoping for a better price on What Have I Done, maybe somewhere in the range of 7-5 or 8-5. Right now, at 3-5. That's letting you get a lot of value on the 4 Seacan Trot. 4-1 is not a bad number on her.
She looks a little annoyed, but maybe just when she was turning there, and she's shaking her head at because you didn't take her on top and I did, so maybe that's just her annoyance. Number 1, Cleveland Hershey, Mariel B for Sarah B. That breaks last time out. The form isn't great, but tell me about this one on the inside.
Well, just that transition that we see so often, right? So Seacan Trot last time, got beat by a wide margin. Last time Mohawk Park comes here and does better things. The break last time concerns me because now obviously you're there, a flat line is the top priority tonight, but a couple of 8 holes at Mohawk Park now gets the rail control here, and she has flashed some speed before, so maybe we see that tonight. Again, I couldn't get to her on top in here. I think she needs some things go her way for that to happen. But I think she's one you can't leave out of the exotics.
And number 3, Gaelic Piper. Well, 16 starts without a win, but at least you see this one as one you could use somewhere on the ticket because now it comes into this 5 consecutive top 4 finishes.
Yeah, trending in the right direction, right? We'll say because last year no top 3 finishes at 10 tries, 6,000 made. This year, you now start to see some better things from Gaelic Piper racing at the Raceway in London, and finishing 4th at Captain Wanya, even though it was 10 lengths behind in the City of London final, is not too shabby, to be perfectly honest. So I thought this is one you want to use in the exotics, and 14 to 1's not a bad number. Might be able to help spice things up underneath.
Well, the price on Secan Trot has come down more closely to What Have I Done, and those two are getting the lion's share of the action right now. We'll see how it unfolds. Cleveland, Hershey last haul on the inside. In the center, Gaelic Piper, Secan Trot, and What Have I Done? And to the outside, Maple Shepherd and Tumble Twister. It's a field of 7. It's race number 1. Field of 7 for the first dash on a Wednesday night. And the field for race number 1 is at the start in the rough and getting out quickly. Secan last haul, Gaelic Piper, and then Cleveland Hershey. What Have I Done? Maple Shepherd and Tumble Twister is trailing the field. But Secan has trotted right out to take the lead and dropped down to 3 to 5 of the board. Gaelic Piper is second away. Last haul, third. Cleveland Hershey is fourth. What Have I Done? Relaxed away to race from fifth in front of Maple Shepherd and Tumble Twister. The field works on around the turn. Secan Trot leads by 2.5 lengths. Gaelic Piper second. Then last haul. And racing position fourth is Cleveland Hershey as they race their way off the turn. And they work on towards us. It is Secan Trot and Gaelic Piper on past the half off past the 3/8 off that 28-second opening quarter. Last haul is racing third. Cleveland Hershey fourth. And then What Have I Done? Maple Shepherd and Tumble Twister. And they work their way up toward the half. Secan Trot leads right now by 2.25 lengths over Gaelic Piper. Last all third, Cleveland Hershey fourth. What Have I Done is going to move to the outside fifth, but has a lot of work to do and is not advancing right now. Then What Have I Done and Tumble Twister, and it's a 58 3/2, and they head on to 3/4. And Secan Trot and Brett McDonough, we can see sitting pretty calm in the bike at 3 to 5 of the board, has a lead of a couple of lengths. Gaelic Piper is second, Cleveland Hershey third. Now What Have I Done is coming and is fourth and is closing ground, but has work to do about 6 or 7 off the lead. 3/4, 127 and 4 in the front, 4 of separation from the remaining 3. And they turn from Secan Trot is still moving well and leads by about 3.5 over Gaelic Piper, Cleveland Hershey, and then What Have I Done? And the field turns on down the stretch drive, and Secan Trot still leading on down the lane. Secan Trot by 2. Gaelic Piper getting a little closer. Secan Trot trying to hold on now. Secan Trot will hold off Gaelic Piper, beaten half a length. Cleveland Hershey and What Have I Done is fourth. Secan Trot 158 flat. Rob dropped all the way down to 3 to 5, and then looked like a 3 to 5 a horse should.
Throughout, Gary. I mean, it went down to odds on status. I was kind of waiting on What Have I Done to make a move. I thought looked good at points in the mile, but really kind of up against it from where he was. And then when he ended up getting on the cover of Cleveland Hershey, I said, okay, it's probably just going to be see what they can get kind of finish in the stretch, and maybe we'll come back to him next time. So off that break, now you get the flat line to his credit. I'll likely be looking to come back to him in his next effort, but take nothing away from the 4 Secan Trot. I mean, she was large and in charge on the engine tonight.
Really disappointed to drop down to that 3 to 5 price. I was hoping that you had steered enough people to What Have I Done, but now people saw that race last time out, and Capulet raced really well, so no fault to finish second there, but didn't get picked up here in this one.
Well, the good news is that, I mean, my spot play of the night's Capulet from post 8 later on the card, and I think that certainly is a good form reference now, right? Kind of boosts the form of Capulet, because Capulet went past this one with ease. I mean, it was kind of under tight lines to the wire for Capulet last time. So that this victory from Secan Trot certainly adds more to that play later on the card.
And Gaelic Piper shows continuing to improve.
Yeah, definitely keeps on stepping forward. Still, missing out on that elusive victory, but I don't think it'll be too long before Gaelic Piper finds the winner's circle, because that was a nice effort there at a long price.
Back in front of us, the winner of race number 1. It's number 4, Secan Trot, a 3-year-old wheeling and dealing brown filly, owned by Stuart and Patricia Bolander. David Fry, the trainer. Brett McDonald's the winning driver. First win for Secan Trot, a mile of 158 flat. The first race payouts for Seacan Trot 330, 220, 210. 3 Gaelic Piper 1060, 261. Cleveland Hershey 310. $2 exactor 2360. Dollar Try 2685. Dollar Super 7055. Fans note the track condition is being upgraded from sloppy to good with an allowance of just 1 second. First race order finish from the top 362 1457. That's 362 1457 on the bottom.
3 minutes away until race number 2 here at the river. And well, yours truly has gone bust in that early pick 5 wager. So the good news is the early pick 4 starts right here. Many likely still alive with the favorite Seacan Truck getting down in the opening dash of the evening. But starting right now in race number 2, we've got the early pick 4 low takeout 15% guaranteed pool $2,500. You can see I don't have a single on my ticket, but still an economical wager at $7.20. The 2 and 6 here in race number 2, that's Wild River Bumblebee, and the 6, I'll get my own thanks. Love the price, 6-1 right now on the 6. I'll get my own thanks. I do not think that will hold come post time, but liking that right now. Race number 3, the 2, 3, and 4, giving the edge to Veracruz, the 2. But that's kind of, an interesting looking non-winners of one trotting event where we might be able to see a price come home in that leg. Race 4, the 4, 6, and 7. All smoke and mirrors, that outside draw this time around, but she's done nothing wrong as of late. She'll likely be the favorite with 4 top 2 finishes in each of her last 4. But also using the 4, leaving with a smile, who I thought's been, kind of improving in her last 2, and now gets a better post to work from. And I'm going to go with my nasty reputation, number 6, to hopefully cause an upset in race number 4. And then race 5, the 2 and the 3. That's Archimedes and Wallach. I thought Wallach last time had a trouble trip, raced really well to be second to Prince Archie. But Archimedes has been, facing tougher at Mohawk Park. Did well to be in a dead heat for third last time in a race topped by Storm Trotter. It just comes down to trip scenario for him. He's kind of a closing type, but I think he'll like the surface here. So I do give the edge to Archimedes in race number 5. That is the 2. $7.20 is the cost of my ticket. Again, you got a couple minutes to map out your winning wagers for this early pick 4 sequence, starting right here in race number 2. Guaranteed pool $2,500 and a low takeout of 15%. We'll come back just a few moments to take a closer look at race number 2.
Field for the second on parade. One Moon Watcher, Dan Meigans for Janice Van Nest. Number 2 is Wild River Bumblebee, Sammy Filia for Julie Walker and Dr. John Bradbury. Number 3, Better Than Pride, Austin Surrey for Kyle Bossens and Fred Niclerio. And number 4, C. Laird, Salamore for Rick Ziron and Stacy Smith Robinson. Number 5, Moonlight Boy. Jimmy Gagnon tries to trains for Stefan Gagnon. Number 6, I'll Get My Own Thanks. Travis Henry for Dale Fritz and Michael Sawyer and Edward Aitchison. Number 7, Ham Sandwich. Steve Houdon for Laura Toscani and Steve Houdon shares in ownership. And round of the field 8 is Harry G. Colin Kelly for Duncan Gillis. The owner is Christina Saftig. Field of 8 for the second. Let's get right to this field. And I love the idea of you going to I'll Get My Own Thanks on top, even though ninth last time out, because this is a decent horse out of a barn that's often had success, that of Dale Fritz. I could see him having a big bounce back.
We saw from Better Be Flying, kind of got class relief off similar kind of efforts. He came out and won for this barn, recently here at the river, and I just kind of looked at it as the same angle. As you know what, I'll Get My Own Thanks is certainly got the better of much better than what he's facing tonight in the past. He's got a mark of 51 and 2, 17 victories, 160,000 made, and I've seen good things out of him. This is now third start back. I'm not too concerned of his last two. Both times he got away a long way off the gate and just wasn't able to do much against solid groups. Now he faces easier, and I think he'll be a little more interested in the early going. So 5-1 to me is extreme value, and I'll Get My Own Thanks. And I think Michael Carter too for Ontario Racing made him his play of the night, so I'm in good company there.
I took Wild River Bumblebee on top, and I'm not proud because I'm with the fans at 4-5. But look, this is one that also is coming in off of some form that doesn't look good, but is in cheaper. And look, this is a classy vet.
Definitely is. 240,000 made, 22 lifetime wins. Comes into the same race and did better. It was, came from, further out of it. Only got beat 4 lengths on the end of it. You get reunited now with Sam Filion, who guided him to victory 4 starts ago from the trailing post at Flamborough Downs. So there's kind of a lot going for Wild River Bumblebee. I thought that those are the two I wanted to be involved in my multi-legs, and I figured that he would take more support. I didn't think that the margin between them on the odds board would be this big, though. I didn't think it would be even money at 6-1. I thought it'd be more like maybe 2-1 and 3-1 or 5-2. So right now, I love the extreme value on the 6. I'll Get My Own Thanks, but I recognize Wild River Bumblebee likely the one to beat.
I had kind of soured on Moon Watcher, but last race, well, I'm not so sour anymore. That was a good effort, and I thought was digging at the finish. This might be one that's ready to come right back around and be a pretty big factor, and he's getting bet solidly 5-2.
He's kind of been a hot and cold horse, right? We kind of referenced that last time out. When he's good, he's really good. And when he's not, he kind of finds, spots in his form cycle where it's kind of a lull, where he doesn't do much. Well, that vet scratch sick May 23rd, came back with an effort where he kind of tried to come from the clouds. And then last time out, more forwardly placed, and he was chasing Gamley to the wire. That was Better Be Flying, who's from the Fritz barn. So I think that Moon Watcher's one that you can definitely get behind here, but 2-1 just seems way too short to me. It just does. I mean, pole position isn't like that big of an advantage here at the river, and I think he's one to use in the exotics. I don't think I can get too excited though about him at 5-2.
And Better Than Pride is one that I thought did a really a nice job in each of the 2 races. Last race got off the gate really nicely. And, even though dropped back to third, don't hold too much against him because he was good here June the 5th. And overall, I think Better Than Pride is one that I think might scare me that you might have needed to include. 7-2. Nice price, too.
Yeah, the price is right. I mean, 9-5 morning line, you're getting 7-2 on them. I thought you'd likely get a little more than the morning line because of the fact that 2 starts ago, I mean, that start was an electric one here, 54-4. Kyle Boston's had tons of success here at the river so far over this new surface. Last time out, set hot fractions before getting picked up by one that by all rights was getting all kinds of class relief and I thought won pretty nicely. So yeah, 4-1 convinced me he's value at that price. I think he's more so a player underneath somewhere, as high as the exacta, I guess, but more so for me in the try and super.
Horse that you've kind of gotten off of a bit, and I understand it exactly, but one of these days he's going to come right back in. Sea Laird.
Yeah, he'd be a Robert Off angle here. I was on him in each of his last 2. Like the effort 2 back to be third last time. never really in it. I always kind of remember him as one that was good when he gets forwardly placed. If that's ever the game plan tonight, kind of watch out. He's 8-1 on the board. Again, for you Robert off angle players, he's your horse here, number 4, Sea Laird.
It's a field of 8 for the second, taking up positions. Moonwatcher, Wild River Bumblebee, Better Than Pride on the inside. Sea Laird and Moonlight Boy to the outside. I'll get my own thanks. And Ham Sandwich and Harry G. It's a field of 8. Race number 2. They're working their way on into the backstretch, and they're all moving into position. Wild River Bumblebee now slides into position, and they're all in on the gates. Into the backstretch. Sun is out now on this fine evening, and Better Than Pride off stride. And they're at the start, and they're off. And it is Sea Laird down the center of the track, and also getting out well now is Moonlight Boy. And on the inside, Wild River Bumblebee. It's Moonlight Boy and Wild River Bumblebee. Moonwatcher is now third. Sea Laird's racing fourth. Then I'll get my own thanks and Ham Sandwich, and back to Harry G. And Better Than Pride has a lot of work to do after an early break in stride. And now Wild River Bumblebee wants to buzz right up on the outside and take the front and grab it from long shot Moonlight Boy, who's 50-1. Moonwatchers on the inside third. Then Sea Laird can be seen racing fourth, and I'll get my own thanks as fifth as the field comes on towards us and is taken to the outside. Better Than Pride picks up that one's cover and is trying to make a huge recovery. Trailing pair Ham Sandwich and Harry G. Wild River Bumblebee. Even money on the board has the lead as they race their way on into the backstretch. Off a 27-3 opening quarter, they head up to the half, and on the inside second is Moonlight Boy. Moonwatcher gets a little bit closer. On the outside, Moonwatcher now has moved up and has taken second. Moonlight Boy, long shot, still in the top 3. I'll get my own thanks, is racing fourth and getting closer now. Then Better Than Pride, back to Sea Laird, Ham Sandwich, Harry G. Wild River Bumblebee still have some sting left and leads it by about a length and a quarter. Moonlight Boy is chasing on the inside, and on the outside, Moonwatcher as they race their way onto that final turn up 3/4, 124-4. I'll get my own thanks is racing fourth. Ham Sandwich 3 wide is closing from the backfield. Then Better Than Pride. Then it is Harry G. and Sea Laird in the field turns for home. Wild River Bumblebee. Ham Sandwich is making up a lot of ground, and Moonwatcher on down the stretch drive. Wild River Bumblebee. Moonlight Boy up the inside. Wild River Bumblebee, though, is game to the finish. Moonlight Boy at 50-1 is second. Ham Sandwich came on to pick up third. Fourth is close. It might have been Harry G. 153-2. I'd say the track is held up rather nicely with the water. That's a quick mile. And a very good mile also for Wild River Bumblebee, because still had some sting at the finish, Rob.
Yeah, sure. The track is held up beautifully. That is a big mile, Gary. And you know what? Wild River Bumblebee, even money favorite, does all the work. It ends up, getting a deserving victory, really. Moonwatcher, first over for a long way. He kind of lives with on those trips sometimes. This time he kind of fades out of it. But I mean, we always talk about if you're gonna back a favorite, it's nice to get prices underneath. Well, how about Moonlight Boy? Not too far away in second at 57-1, and then Ham Sandwich, huge effort from that horse off the pace. He's always been one that's kind of a speedball to me. He has a nice closing effort tonight to be third at 30-1. So these exotics should be massive because you're getting two of the longest shots on the board underneath.
And I'm not sure who was fourth, whether it's the one Moonwatcher or 8 Harry G. I thought it was maybe Harry G, but Moonwatcher's right there. But if it is Harry G, then that certainly helps the superfect as well, because Moonwatcher's on the board at 4-1, while Harry G is 50-1. Look at that
Yeah,
mile
was
two,
ever
Rob.
Harry G.
53-2. I'm just impressed. I said that this track would hold, and it is Harry G. Look at those for prices. You get the favorite, and then 50-1, 30-1, and 50-1.
Yeah, the superfecta could pay anything here. I mean, you literally you get the three longest shots below the even money favorite. And they're not just like, it's not a race where there was a lot of parity on the odds board. I mean, you've got three horses that are all 3-1 or higher underneath there, and you get a 2-1 shot off the ticket. This could pay anything, and I agree, Gary. 53-2, and I mean, even just to look at the track too, right? There was a downpour, and it looks like we're on the verge of getting back to a fast track now. So I'm so impressed with the way this surface is held up to rain.
I think hats off to Doug McCaig doing just a tremendous job, because If you saw how hard it rained here at about 10 to 6, it was coming down like Noah needed to start looking for some lumber. And yet it's perfectly fine. 2578, long shots under to Wild River Bumblebee, who was able to sting the field in 53 and 2. 10-year-old sports writer Bay Gowling, owned by Dr. John Bradbury, trained by Julie Walker. Samuel Filias, the winning driver, third win this year. 23rd lifetime, 153 and 2. That's a new season's best. The second race payouts to Wild River Bumblebee: 410, 290, 280. 5 Moonlight Boy, 4130, 1580. 7 Ham Sandwich, 590. $2 Exactor, 145.80. Dollar Try, 536.30. 20-cent Superfecta, 771.56. Ka-ching! Double of 4 and 2, 1150. Second race order finish from the top down: 51672 834. That's 51672 834 in the bottom.
Winback Farm of Canada's now home to Meadowlands Pace Champion Beach Glass.
Beach Glass wins the Cane Pace. Beach Glass.
Today it's Beach Glass.
And Beach Glass is going to get there. Beach Glass in front.
Beach Glass. The beach is back. Beach Glass.
New to Winback Farm of Canada in 2024. For more information, visit winbackfarm.com.
Field for the third. On parade one, Bridgewater Boy, Dan Meekins for Paul Meekins and Saltwater Stable. Number two is Veracruz. Scott Young for Timothy Cherwego and Gary Green. Timothy shares in ownership. Number three is HB Agatha. It's Anthony Hunt for Chantel Mitchell and Claude Hamel, and also Alex Hamel. Number four is Mass Action. JB Renault for Julie Walker and Wade Piccone. Number five is TriStar Carmen Talamore for Andrew Cars and Aaron Wood Equine. Number six, My Time, Your Money. Rob Jenkins Jr. drives and trains and owns for partner Felix Marion. And number seven is Market Surge. It's Dave Frankie Boughton for Don Lindsay and Glenn Lindsay. Field of seven, race number three. Let's look at this field. Number two, Veracruz, getting a lot of love, 3 to 5 on the board. And it didn't use this one on top for only one reason, Rob. Those X's on the dance card.
Yeah, that's obviously a concern, Gary. But the thing is that for me, I loved what I saw last time from Veracruz, and I like what we're seeing right now in a score down. Nice, calm, and relaxed, but at least scoring down a little bit. I think Scott Young wants to probably see if this one might be ready to go forward off the gate tonight. And the X's were south of the border, previous connections, and Tim Cherwego has had a lot of success with trotters of this kind, right? That kind of come up from the states that have some decent bloodlines. So I mean, 3 to 5, I don't like at all, but I do like this horse's chances a lot tonight. I love the way that he finished his mile last time and coming out of that key race, Capulet, Seacan Trot. So happy to have that one on top, but likely would not be betting him at 3 to 5. Just too short, in my opinion, but hopefully it rises up come post time.
And really, that's the only thing is I thought that Veracruz would be the favorite just because speed comparison is very strong in here. 3, HB Agatha, Anthony Hunt for Chantel Mitchell. Only one top three finish, but it's last time out, and it was a good effort.
It was. And before that, too, right? We always talk about post positions and how that can be something to look at and trending in the right direction in that area. Post 7, tougher against Mohawk Park 3 starts ago, trailing post last time out, and then post 6 at Georgian went to the lead and went a long way on the engine before only getting picked up by Stoner Sealster, who's a horse I think's got some ability as well. So love the way this one looks in the track right now. She looks alert out there, ears up, and listening to what Anthony Yon has to say. And we've seen a horse already do well tonight. Seacan Trot in the opening dash of the evening, that was able to go all the way on the engine. So maybe similar game plan tonight might work out for HP Agatha.
Number 4, Mass Action. I used this one on top. I've been monitoring the Julie Walker barn, and there's some nice things to monitor, including a win in the second race.
Yep, absolutely. And Mass Action is one that I think is giving you some value right now at 5 to 1 as well, because made a break in stride in Mohawk Park May 16th, then on opening night here was a solid second to Forbidden Treasure. And that back half's pretty solid, all things considered as well. Equal quarters of 29 and 3 on the end of that mile, and by all rights should be more than competitive against this group. Has missed a week in between, but with a horse only has 2 lifetime starts, obviously coming along at his own pace. So I'm not going to read too much into that. So I think you're on the right side of value at 5 to 1. I was expecting something closer to 5 to 2.
And then we both had the same top three, but went in a different direction for fourth. I went to Bridgewater Boy on the inside, but you went to TriStar Carmen, and that's where the fans are. 7 to 1 is one that, trailer post last race. Now at least gets his nose on the gate, and you see gate speed. I saw this one at Flamborough May the 5th, blasted to the front.
Yeah, I liked his chances actually. Opening night made that break behind the gate. The 7 hole ended up getting beat by a wide margin. Didn't like his chances so much next time out, trailing post, because that's a tricky spot for horse coming into it off a break. Better post today. And like you said, blasted the lead at Flamborough Downs and that third place finish, and before that as well, going all the way on the engine. So, third start now, current connections. Not a bad, maybe a horse to look for as an upsetter here at 7-1. I think in with a chance for me, bottom end of the exotics, but not a bad play at 7-1.
And it is a field of 7 for the third. Bridgewater Boy, Veracruz on the inside. In the center, HB Agatha, Mass Action, TriStar Carmen. To the outside, My Time, Your Money, and Market Surge. It's a field of 7 for race number 3. Field for the third race. Into the backstretch, nearing the start. They're at the start and they're off, and TriStar Carmen broke stride. HB Agatha is going to blast out. Bridgewater Boy, then Veracruz is racing in the center of the track third and is going to drive on instead of back into the 3 spot. And then it is back to Mass Action. Market Surge on the outside. My Time, Your Money, and trailing the field, TriStar Carmen is having a bit of a rough go of things right now. And now it is Veracruz and Scott Young, who's looking to cruise on the outside, and Veracruz, the 1-5 favorite, is being moved very aggressively by Scott Young and coming on confidently to take the lead. HB Agatha is second. Bridgewater Boy is racing third. Then it is Market Surge. Mass Action is racing fifth. Then My Time, Your Money, and back to TriStar Carmen. Up a quarter of 28-4. The field heads up towards the half, and right now Veracruz is just cruising. Has a lead of a couple of lengths. No one flushing out just yet. And now from fifth comes Mass Action, and racing second, HB Agatha, then Bridgewater Boy. Mass Action on the outside fourth has a lot of work to do, but is at least closing plenty of ground now. And then it is Market Surge and My Time, Your Money, and TriStar Carmen is trailing the field. Veracruz and Scott Young looks pretty confident in the bike right now and is sitting pretty relaxed and leads a length and 3/4 HB Agatha. Mass Action is getting closer as they race on to that final turn off the half of 59-1, grabbing fourth My Time, Your Money from the backfield. TriStar Carmen, Bridgewater Boys backed away, and then Market Surge, but Veracruz is just cruising and is well out in command, leads by 4. Then HB Agatha and racing third, Mass Action. On down the stretch drive they come, and Veracruz is home and cooled out. Is just cruising, and it was like a training trip for Veracruz. And then Mass Action will pick up second. HB Agatha, My Time, Your Money, 158-4. Rob, I didn't want the short price and one that shows all those breaks, but I'll tell you one thing. Veracruz, maybe I can look past those X's, as you mentioned. They were south of the border because Veracruz not only won, but looked easy and smooth.
Yeah, just absolutely crushed his competition, and he looked smooth last time. That's why, I was able to put him on top. I wasn't too concerned about the breaks, and I mean, it was intent on having the lead this time out. And you can see in the turn for home here, he's under no urging at all, and he's just trotting away from his rivals. Easiest kind of winner for connections that do well with trotters, like Veracruz and Scott Young, gets to the winner's circle here, and this one did a good job bringing this one along last time off a layoff, and this time out now obviously handled more aggressively. But your pick, Mass Action, I thought, raced pretty well to be second. Now back-to-back runner-up finishes. HB Agatha, I thought looked fantastic on the track, but she was pretty tired in the stretch.
Yeah, and I was just getting cute because, if you're going to take a really short price on maiden trotters, sometimes it's a good play just to go against one that has those X's, but I think we now know that we don't have to look at those anymore.
No, I don't think so. And I think we can probably look at Veracruz no matter where he ends up next time, up in class here, maybe on the big track. I mean, certainly got around this surface nicely in each of his last two now, and puts that mark on his card of 58-4 and a maiden breaking score. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to see what this one has next time.
We both thought the 2, 3, and 4 were the top 3. We tried to get the fourth one down. I went the 1, you went the 5. We're both wrong. It's the 6 at 45-1, Rob.
Yeah, you need a little bit of a price on the bottom end of that super, right? Kind of formful in the top 3. So maybe that 45 to 1 shot for Rob Jenkins Jr. can help add some value to the superfecta.
And back in front of us is number 2, Veracruz, a 3-year-old Father Patrick Brown, gelding up by Gary Green and Timothy Cherwaco. Timothy is also the trainer. Scotty Young had the answer in the third with Veracruz. First win, mile of 158 and 4. The third race payouts to Veracruz, 270, 210, 240. For mass action, 340, 243. HB Agatha, 230. $2 exactor, 660. Dollar try, 705. Dollar super, $36. The third race, or a finish from the top, 713 2546. That's 713 2546 on the bottom. Field for race number 4 entering the track for the post parade. It's a field of 7 pacers, fillies and mares, and one is full of personality. Samuel Filya for Ashley Lenvoy, and the owner is Gino Toscani. Number 2 is Lucy and Ethel, Brett McDonough for Gord McDonnell and Doug Good. And 3 is Winner Bells. It's Todd Ratchford driving for Cameron McQueen. Correction, that is Austin Sorey driving for Cameron McQueen. 4 is Leaving with a Smile. Jason Ryan drives for William Beecham and Gavin Christie. 5 is Lady Panic. Todd Ratchford driving for Riley Simpson and Shed Go. Number 6, Nasty Reputation. Scott Colder, Gary Rive, and Ashley and Matthew Rive Bohanec. And number 7, All Smoke and Mirrors. Travis Henry for James Wellwood and Jeffrey Wellwood. It's a field of 7 for race number 4. Let's get a look at this field. And Rob, all the way through the betting cycle, for Leaving with a Smile has been taking a ton of coin. But first, we're going to get to All Smoke and Mirrors. And, well, I'd love to see it because I'm still alive, the Big 5, and sitting at 4-1. I don't know if that price is going to hold, though.
But I mean, I thought that the 4 Leaving with a Smile would take a lot more support this time out. I mean, obviously, bombs away in each of her last 2, and All Smoke and Mirrors. I mean, she's worthy of being the favorite here, right, Gary? I mean, last time, second to Salzburg Annie, who went a big mile on the engine, and really no shame in finishing second to that horse with the back half of 56-3. Disappointing as the favorite, though, at 60 cents to the dollar. 3 in a row before that, and the effort here June 5th was a stellar one, 55-1, and won by a clear margin at 4-1. Looks fantastic on the track. I'm not going off her here. I mean, she's shown she can be versatile in her racing style, and 7-2. The price is oh so right. Like you said, though, likely going to shrivel up come post time. But even if it sticks around, 2-1, 5-2, I still think that's a decent number.
Well, if all that money stays with Leaving with a Smile, it might hold up. And Leaving with a Smile has been backed right from the opening of the betting cycle. And look, I can see it. One that was good last year hasn't yet come around, but the last race was better and gets the better post.
Yeah, each of her last 2 I thought were good, and that's why I have her pegged for second. I was actually kind of torn between who I put on top. I didn't think the price discrepancy would be where it is. I just said, you know what, I can't go against All Smoke and Mirrors. She's been racing too good. But Leaving with a Smile, post 8, post 7, both times closed, up significantly well to finish 5th and then 4th. But you're taking 4-5 right now on a horse that was 25-1 last week and 32-1 the week before that. To me, that's a hard pill to swallow. The price would have to go up significantly for me to say, okay, yeah, I think she's a good play in the win ticket, but I do recognize she's in with a big chance tonight.
Number 6, Nasty Reputation, has been sniffing around it, going back 4 races ago, beaten a length, and then a couple of other 4th-place finishes, a 3rd last time out. Maybe can move up into the top 2, maybe even the win at 11-1.
Yeah, the price is nice on Nasty Reputation. I've been on her in each of her last 2. 2 starts ago, she had no chance. The way it panned out at 11-1, and I think that's why she took a lot of support last time when she got bet down to 6-1. She was in position, I thought, where she could have, maybe fared a little better. But at the end of the day, I guess significant pace disadvantage because she came her back half in 56-4, and still only came home with the show spot. So maybe, similar trip scenario, different circumstance, she can do better tonight. I like the price at 11-1. I put her in the 3rd spot. I've kind of had rose-colored glasses for her as of late, and if she wins, I wouldn't be surprised. But I think it'd have to really go her way for her to get her picture taken.
And one full of personality. It's Sammy Filya, Ashley Lenvoy. Strong connections. They're both having a good year, and inside post as well.
Yeah, I had a lot of people kind of tell me that they loved her chances last time out off that Second place finish 2 starts ago. Perfect trip though in her latest, and she faded back to fifth. So I couldn't get there on the win end for full of personality, but she'll likely sit a favorable journey again. If she can rebound with a better effort, she can pick up a decent chunk.
And I'll tell you, a sleeper's Lady Panic. We punished her because of the last race, but a lot of form just before that. It'll be interesting to see. Full of personality, Lucy and Ethel on the inside. Winter Bells leaving with a smile. Lady Panic in the center. To the outside, Nasty Reputation and All Smoke and Mirrors. It is a field of 7 for race number 4. Field for the 4th race. In the backstretch, nearing the start. They're at the start and they're off. And Winter Bells is going to flash early speed with Leaving with a Smile. Full of personality on the inside. And then it is Lady Panic. All Smoke and Mirrors on the outside. Continues to march now. And then it is Lucy and Ethel and Nasty Reputation. Winter Bells broke stride. Leaving with a Smile inherits the lead now. And All Smoke and Mirrors is able to tuck into the pocket as the field works on around the turn. Then it is Full of Personality. And back racing position 4th is Lady Panic. And then it is Lucy and Ethel and Nasty Reputation. And down on the inside is Winter Bells. After that, break in stride, and it is Leaving with a Smile. 27-4 opening quarter. But All Smoke and Mirrors is in a good spot right there in the pocket. Full of Personality is third. And then Lady Panic on the inside. And now Lucy and Ethel is going to work first over. Nasty Reputation is racing position 5th. And then back in 6th as they work their way, or rather 7th. That is Winter Bells. On down the back stretch, half of 59-2, a 31-3 second panel breather for Leaving with a Smile. All Smoke and Mirrors, Lucy and Ethel on the outside. Full of Personality is racing 4th. Lady Panic, and then Winter Bells, and on the inside Nasty Reputation, but Leaving with a Smile held at 4-5 on the board. Leaving with a Smile leads still by 2 1/4. All Smoke and Mirrors with work to do. Lucy and Ethel is third. Then Full of Personality, Lady Panic and Nasty Reputation and Winter Bells, but it is all Leaving with a Smile. 3/4, 127-3, a 28-1 third panel to start to get away on the field. And then racing now, dueling to take over second, Lucy and Ethel to grab it from All Smoke and Mirrors. Then Full of Personality and Nasty Reputation. But it is Leaving with a Smile as they come on down the stretch drive. Leaving with a Smile has left the rivals in pursuit, beaten by about 3 over Lucy and Ethel, and then Full of Personality and Nasty Reputation. A mile of 157, Leaving with a Smile took all the money early and then raced like a horse that was going to live up to that action.
Yeah, she was all business tonight. I mean, that better post, right, obviously helped her chances. Got away 9th from post 8 2 starts ago, 6th from post 7. This time keen on having the engine, and she was a much the best winner, Gary. And like you said, all you had to do is follow the money, right? The money was on her from the start of the betting cycle, and she ended up going off as the favorite and raced accordingly. So nice effort there from Leaving with a Smile. Like you said, 4 top 2 finishes last year. Now she gets off the schneid this season. First victory in 5 tries.
Yeah, and also the half, that breather in the second panel, and the half coming up 59-2, that pretty much sealed the deal.
Yeah, it's race over at that point. Plus, it helps too. You inherit the lead too, and the 3 winner bells makes that miscue. So that obviously, helps a horse when they don't have to do much work to get to the engine there, like she was able to do. But yeah, again, she was clearly much the best in there. I thought Lucy and Ethel actually turned in a decent effort, at a nice price to round out the exacta.
Yeah, it was interesting because Lucy and Ethel is one that we didn't have a lot to talk about because, well, that last race didn't leave us much to mention, but it still was a race with a good back half and a mile of 55-3. So Lucy and Ethel now is one that you can talk about next time out, and that was 15-1. Full of Personality. Nasty Reputation has still just been on the fringes.
Yeah, she's just kind of I think her racing style kind of does that to her as well. Kind of a horse that doesn't have a lot of pop off the gates or hasn't showed her anyways from the post that she's had. And like this time around, she kind of just sat in the pylons and waited for an opportunity to kind of move forward in the stretch. So she's picking up pieces. You need to find maybe the right opportunity before she gets back to the winner's circle, but still, 4th at 16-1 might help add some value underneath.
Well, Rob, leaving with a smile. I'm not smiling. Out of the pick five, but what the heck? Back in front of us, 4216, and it's for Leaving with a Smile. 3-year-old Shadow Play. Bay Filion by William Beecham and Gavin Christie. Jason Ryan, the trainer, and the winning driver. 157 flat. Leaving with a Smile. The fourth race payouts for Leaving with a Smile. $383 to 32 Lucy and Ethel, $9 and $380 and one full of personality pays $3. $2 exactor 16 $10 try 28.10 $1 super 88.90. The fourth race order finish from the top downs at 3271645. That's 3271645 on the bottom. Fans note we will have a delay in the start of the fifth race as we're under a weather delay, lightning in the area as well as you can see it's pouring rain heavily, but it's mostly the lightning situation. So we have a delay in the start of the fifth race. Fans note a driver change in race number 10. It'll come on number 6. Am I Radical? It'll be Travis Cullen. Race 10, 6 Am I Radical. Travis Cullen will drive. Field for the fifth on parade. One is quick fix. Travis Cullen for Kevin Botts. And number 2 is Archimedes. It's Mike Whalen for Kelly Shepard. Number 3 is Wolanak. It's Tyler Moore for the lessee, Kenny Ellis. Wolanak getting a last-minute equipment adjustment. And number 4 is Century Isaiah. Ron Waples Jr. for Dr. Sheila Atmore. And number 5 is Royal Champagne. Paul McKenzie for Katerina Bosniak and J.J. Stables. Number 6, J.D. Magic Moon. Jason Bryan tries and trains for William Beecham and Gavin Christie. Number 7 is P.L. Canella. Brett McDonough for Matt Dupuis. Eight is Hall of a Ride. Scotty Colliver, Craig Gilmore, and Janice Hubbard. Field of 8. The 9 is Scratch. Let's get a look at this field. And, well, there should be a fair amount of betting into the totals as we've had a delay. That looks like the track is fine now, and we had that lightning and heavy rain. To Archimedes, Mike Whalen with the drive, and is your top pick. And certainly there's lots of positives with Archimedes to look at.
Well, there certainly is, Gary, and also a lot of people, kind of, waiting on bated breath for the race to get back. Right, this is the last leg of both the pick 5 and the pick 4, so people will have that wager hinging on this dash here. And I love the look for the 2 Archimedes right now because a horse that typically has been a bit of a closing type, but this is a nice score down from Mike Whalen on the backside here, and he looks pretty sharp tonight. Like I said earlier, we're mapping out our multi-leg wagers. I think pound for pound he's the best horse in the race. In fact, I've selected him on top several times at Mohawk Park, and really think that he's had a good season with 10 on the board finishes and 19 tries, 4 victories after going 1 for 20 last year. I'm still squarely in his corner, Gary, even at that price of 7-5. But do recognize that Wolanak poses the biggest threat.
Yeah, and basically for me it was a coin flip, but I did like what I've seen of Wolanak here just overall, and also 10 out of 15 in the top 2, so you do get a hot horse.
You do, and last time I know. I think he kind of shot to the top of your watch list because you made a point of mentioning that you thought that his trip was extremely difficult. Wolanak's trip last time was one where he got away 5th, got shuffled back to 7th, and he came on nicely to be second to Prince Archie in 28-3 final quarter. And before that, he had the trip scenario in his favor when he got the job done for the victory. But a horse that's been hitting the board with all kinds of frequency. He's only missed the board 3 times out of 15 tries this year, and he looks nice and relaxed in the track right now. So I thought this came down to a 2-horse race.
And then next up, number 6, J.D. Magic Moon. Well, I'll tell you, this is one that I think is the sleeper in here. We saw Jason Ryan's barn already win one earlier this evening. His barn's really been clicking at a nice percentage this year.
Yeah, it has been. He's got his own that have been winning with frequency. He's 324 as a trainer, 276 as a driver. That's a killer combination. And this trotter's done good things for him. Really early on in the tenure with Jason, this horse was doing well at the Raceway in London, and I think fits well with this group here today, racing for the optional tag. For me, though, I can't put him in the same category as the 2 Archimedes or 3 Wolanak. That's why I have him picked for 3rd.
And then, we'll take a look at P.L. Canella, but if you look at the back half last time out, this is one that was digging. P.L. Canella, good first line off of a break, could be dangerous.
Yeah, post 7 was one of the things that kind of made me move away from him a little bit. I've been in his corner on top, I think, a couple starts ago anyways. But that break in stride was obviously a costly one. And then last time out, flat line, that's obviously something he can build off of. 8-1's a nice price on PL Quinella. And maybe, for me, I'd say the exotics is likely the ceiling. definitely don't want to leave this one off your high five tickets.
You know where you're getting a little bit of money on the one quick fix, and it's Travis Cullen with the drive for Kevin Botts. This is one that's had a couple of wins on the year, and quick fix is sitting at 10-1, but made a break last time out at Georgian Downs. I think this is one, if you go back into April 25th and you saw quick fix in a non-winners at 2, actually raced pretty competitively, and then we haven't seen much since then.
Yeah, and I've seen this horse actually do well going kind of open throttle in the early going, right? So, rail control, Travis Cullen, a decent combination for maybe pushing out of there in the early stages of this race. Those 2 breaks in the last 3 are obviously a concern. But, we used to always say you've got to use the 1 in your high fives on the old track. And, we've seen them also land on the ticket with frequency here on the new surface, Gary. So quick fix is one I'd use in the high 5, but likely the 4th or 5th position.
And I can tell you, during the delay, unlike you who just goofed off probably, I spent some time working. I did all the post stats for the meet so far. So, post
Wow.
1 is second in wins on the meet, 11 wins. Post 5 is the one with the most wins at 13.
Look at that. Well, you know what? It could be like high school for me, right? I'll just have you send me those stats now. So I didn't have to do them. You did them for me.
Yeah, you can look at my homework. My plan always when I went to school was you don't have to study, just sit beside the right person.
That's right. That's exactly what I did too. I sat beside the people that took the best notes and was more than happy to use them come exam time.
So there is a quick fix from post position 1, as we mentioned, at 11-1, and the second winning is post. But it is post 5 that's been our best post, but in this case, Royal Champagne, if you want to keep that going, 21-1. That would be one that you could uncork a little bubbly if you scored with Royal Champagne here. Taking up their positions, it is quick fix in Archimedes with Wolonak on the inside. In the center, Century Isaiah, Royal Champagne to the outside, JD Magic Moon, PL Canella, and Hall of a Ride. It's a field of 8. It's race number 5. And it is post time. Field of 8 for race number 5. They're all in position, all up on the gates. And they're at the start of the rough, and Century Isaiah. Royal Champagne is going to uncork some early speed. Wolonak is out well. Century Isaiah 3rd. Archimedes is 4th away. JD Magic Moon. Then it is Quick Fix and PL Canella and Hall of a Ride. But Royal Champagne at 40-1. Wolonak is racing second. Century Isaiah 3rd. Then it is Archimedes, who's positioned right now 4th as they work around the turn. JD Magic Moon now is 5th. And then a gap of 3 or 4 back to Quick Fix. And further back is PL Canella. The field will straighten out off the turn and come on towards us, and then further back racing, trailing his Hall of a Ride. And now Wolonak is going to come up and get the lead. Wolonak is taking it from long shot Royal Champagne, who's going to race from the pocket, and Century Isaiah at 50-1 is forwardly placed 3rd in front of Archimedes, and 5th is JD Magic Moon of a 27-4 opening quarter. They head up towards the half, and 6th PL Canella with work to do. Then Quick Fix and Hall of a Ride. But Wolonak, even money, and Wolonak leads it by about 2. Now Archimedes is taken out from 4th and is moving up. Right now Royal Champagne still has 2nd, but Archimedes advancing gamely is 3rd and is now bearing down on Wolonak. It is Wolonak and Archimedes, and those two are going to duel now. Royal Champagne is still there in the pocket, and then it is Century Isaiah, JD Magic Moon, PL Canella, then Quick Fix and Hall of a Ride, 3/4, 126-4, and it is Wolonak, Archimedes off stride. Wolonak, Royal Champagne second. JD Magic Moon is rolling on the outside and might be able to collar Wolonak because JD Magic Moon is coming on. Wolonak as they turn from JD Magic Moon on down the stretch drive they come. JD Magic Moon and up the inside Royal Champagne, 3 across the track, but it's going to be JD Magic Moon, and hanging tough was Wolonak. And on the inside was Royal Champagne. PL Canella came flying late to get 4th, 156-4. JD Magic Moon, I believe, got there, but also close to the finish was Wolonak.
Thought it was going to be a much wider margin, Gary. It looked like JD Majmu was cruising by, and Wallinack really fought back gamely. I mean, there were a few strides before that wire, right? I definitely think he put his nose back in front, but I'm not sure if JD Magic Moon prevailed. I mean, I don't go against you, so I've got the utmost faith in you, sir. But yeah, I mean, obviously everything changed when Archimedes made that break in the first over position. Wallinack fought on gamely, but JD Magic Moon, I mean, win or lose, Jason Ryan's horses have been racing fantastic as of late.
And I did include that one in my pick five. Unfortunately, lost it in the fourth race with not getting all smoke and mirrors home as Jason Ryan took me out of my pick five with a win with leaving with a smile. But I did include the six as my one to throw in because I just kind of thought that JD Magic Moon and again Jason Ryan. And there is the finish, and as the announcer called it.
Yep, sure looks like another one that goes to Gary Guy, and I shouldn't ever doubt you because there it is right there, 10-1, and boy oh boy, look at this this high five should be a good one, Gary, if it pays at all. You got a 10-1 shot on top with JD Magic Moon. Obviously, Wallinack and even money second, but you have a race where two horses, Archimedes and Wallinack, are going to be probably used together on a lot of tickets after that bombs away.
Yeah. And that is why I threw JD Magic Moon, just because both of those, and sometimes you want to throw one in on your pick five just because you need one somewhere along the way at a price.
Yeah, and like I said too, right? Like, track's been a little bit obviously off tonight. Trotting events is where I kind of see prices come in, and here we go. We get a 10-1 shot down in the money leg of the pick five and pick four.
Although the track's not off that much because that's his quickest mile this year. Did trot here in 57 on opening day, and then 56 and 4. The track has taken a lot of water tonight, and yet it's holding up beautifully. Back in front of us is number 6, JD Magic Moon. A 4-year-old Donato Hanover Bay gelding, owned by William Beecham and Gavin Christie. Jason Ryan with the training double and the driving double. And it's the 6th win for JD Magic Moon. And also out trackside, the OFA, the Ontario Federation of Agriculture. Fifth race, payouts number 6, JD Magic Moon, $23.40, $7 Wallinack, $3 Royal Champagne, $5. The $2 exactor, numbers 6 and 3. $59. Dollar try, $272.55. Dollar pick 3, $50. Dollar pick 4, $123.05. Dollar high five, $42.02. That's $4,202.95 on the high five. the fifth race. Order of finish from the top down to 582-631-47 scratch. That's 582-631-47 scratch.
Reached the halfway point of the card here at Grand River Raceway on a wet Wednesday, and well, it's time to take a look, a quick look, anyways, at the late pick five wager. Low takeout is 15%, and there's the ticket I've mapped out. Just $3.20. The two better on ice, and the five happy nays that started off for me here. Don't have even money favorite right now. Mickey Burke on my ticket. Race number 7, just the 8 Capulet. Loved the way this one raced last time. Looks like a key race as well. We've seen several horses come out of that one and do good things. So happy to have that one singled in race number 7. 2, 3, 4, and 6 in the 8th race. The 4 No Money Honey is one that made my watch list last time, but I think it's a pretty competitive dash in the 8th. Race 9, the 5 and 6 First Venera and the 6 Val Victorian. They were 1-2 last time. I think the same will likely play out in that race this evening. And then in the money leg race number 10, you cannot go against the 9 Wheels of Blazing, or at least I can't go against that one. Absolutely jogged from the trailing post last time. I think he doubles up with ease, the heavy favorite. Just $3.20 is the cost of my late pick 5 ticket, again starting here in race number 6. A couple of singles, both from tricky posts, I guess you could say. Trailing post for Wheels of Blazing, and the 8 hole for Capulet. Horses coming out, though, for race number 6. We'll come back in just a few moments, take a closer look at the upcoming dash.
Field for the 6th on parade. 1, Wise Better's Legacy. Brett McDonough for James Lee. And number 2, Better on Ice. Travis Henry for Dale Fritz and Michael Sawyer. Number 3 is Mickey Burke. It's Todd Ratchford for Riley Simpson and Shen Go. And number 4 is Unison. Paul McKenzie for Dan Meekins and Mark Meekins. Number 5 is Happy Nays. Jay Harris for Derek Anderson and Russ Gorley. Number 6 is Kansas Panic. Anthony Hunt for Big Crone and the estate of Brian Paquette. And number 7, Jafar Dulac. Scott Young for Jim Flynn and Doreen Flynn. It's a field of 7 for race number 6. Well, let's get a look at your top ones in here. And, well, we're going to start off at 7-1. You keep going to Happy Nays. One of these days, you're going to get Happy Nays down in front. And certainly is coming in racing well.
You sound like you don't have confidence in me going back to this horse, but I do. It's not just because I'm being stubborn. I actually think this horse does have a lot of ability. I actually saw the owner of this horse, Russ Gorley, at Dresden Raceway over the weekend, and he kind of agrees. Last time out, ended up first over. I think I expected more from him in that effort. He ended up fading back to third. Baron's Weapon was the winner in that dash, and I think that one's not on here tonight. So I think he should like the group he faces this evening, and he's proven he can overcome several different trips. I like it, kind of when he races off a helmet. Maybe that's going to be the game plan tonight. But 7-1, Gary, I think it's a big price on Happy Nays. This horse has been racing really well, knocking at the door in recent efforts, and is just 3 starts removed from a victory at 9-1. A shade lower than that tonight, but more than happy to have him on my pick 5 ticket and on top.
Well, I hope you win because I'm cheering for Russ Gorley. Good guy. The program printer as well. Happy Nays and Jay Harris, the Green Arrow. Lovely price at 8-1. Number 2, Better on Ice is one that, hasn't raced in a while, but that qualifier kind of jumps out a bit.
It does. Yeah, obviously, you win by a wide margin and probably wasn't facing horses that he's facing today. 202-1 though over Hanover. I mean, that's enough to, like you say, okay, he's ready to roll against this group. And last 2 starts of the Raceway in London obviously went off at 6-1 after being a hefty favorite in numbers of 40,000 life. That's against Dow's Up. Dow's Up went on a nice little run there, but before that, he won back-to-back efforts. So I just remember, when this horse went on the shelf that I'd be watching for him when he comes back, and here he is now, for Dale Fritz coming back here at the River, post 2 to work from, and maybe it's not tonight, maybe it's, start 2 or start 3. I think he'll click, in the near future though, but you want to try to get ahead of it, right, at 6-1, because if he goes out there and has a good showing tonight, that price will shrivel up next time out.
And now number 3, Mickey Burke, my top one. 1 win in 20 starts this year. That 1 win, though, was here on opening day. And then last race was a good closing effort.
It was a good closing effort. He was 4th. I mean, he got beat by Happy Nays, though. I mean, that's what I don't understand. The discrepancy in the odds board, 7-1 versus even money. 2 back, that was a first over victory, and one where it looks like he was kind of spinning his wheels, and then he just kind of would not be denied, right? It was a real nice winning effort. And again, I think coming off that one, I could see him being bet down to favoritism, but off his latest, again, he closed well from out of it. Third quarter, 27-1. I'm not sure what the trip scenario looks like tonight. I mean, I don't think he's a slam dunk at even money. I've got him picked 3rd. He's in with a chance, but I much prefer the 6-1 on Happy Nays, and I think that's an overlay.
I didn't get to Unison. I went to Kansas Panic, but either one would be towards the bottom. But Unison is one that, I'll let you talk about Unison.
Unison's just a horse that I've backed him several times at Mohawk Park, and against much tougher than what he's facing tonight. His last 2, he's gotten away 6th off the gate, and he's walked away empty-handed. I think that this group is one that he should is more than capable of being competitive against, and I love when a horse transitions to the condition claiming ranks. That usually, wakes them up because they get to face softer competition. So 5-1's a bit lower than I expected, Gary, but I think he's in with a chance, and I would not ignore him on the bottom end of the exotics.
And I went to Kansas Panic off the barn, as well as if he can stay flat, he's going to be a factor, but that is a big if. Wise Batter's Legacy, Better on Ice on the inside. In the center, Mickey Burke, Unison, Happy Nays, and to the outside, Kansas Panic and Jafar Dulac. It's a field of 7, race number 6, with Mickey Burke, the favorite, at 6-5 right now. And the field for the 6th race. In the backstretch, in position. There at the start of the rough, and Jafar Dulac, Happy Nays, the first couple to drive home. Better on Ice is skating well. YS Better's Legacy. Now Mickey Burke is back racing 5th, and then Unison and Kansas Panic. But Happy Nays is going to come on. Happy Nays is brushing hard early and is going to take the lead. Better on Ice is racing 2nd. YS Better's Legacy 3rd. Jafar Dulac is racing 4th. Mickey Burke, and then back to Unison and Kansas Panic, but they come off the turn, and it is Happy Nays who's got the lead for Jay Harris, and Better on Ice is right there in the pocket. YS Better's Legacy racing 3rd. Then Jafar Dulac now driving to the outside is Unison, still on the inside Mickey Burke, and now Mickey Burke is going to follow Unison and will be 2nd over, and Kansas Panic trailing the field. Of a quarter of 26-3, they race their way towards the half, and Happy Nays head down and chugging hard as they race their way into the backstretch at 56 flat, and racing second, Better on Ice, and Unison on the outside is third. Wise Better's Legacy, Jafar Dulac, Mickey Burke has only one beaten, and then Kansas Panic as they race their way on towards three quarters. It is still Happy Nays and Better on Ice, then backing away now Unison on the inside. Wise Better's Legacy. Mickey Burke had to go three wide to get around Unison. Down to the inside, Jafar Dulac and Kansas Panic, but it is Happy Nays getting away on the field. Happy Nays and Better on Ice. And Wise Better's Legacy is third. Jafar Dulac is fourth, and Mickey Burke doesn't have it. And on the outside, Kansas Panic. And Unison is trailing the field. They turn on down the stretch drive. Happy Nays getting a bit of urging now to keep on going, but Happy Nays has plenty to be happy about, and now is coasting for Jay Harrison. Wins it over Better on Ice, and then Wise Better's Legacy. Three across the track for fourth. It might have been Kansas Panic. A mile of 153 flat for Happy Nays.
Well, there we have it. See, it wasn't that I was just being stubborn, Gary. There's and you know what? I said I want to see him race off a helmet. That's why I'm not a driver. Okay, that's why I'm not a driver. Hats off to Jay Harris, right on down the road tonight. And I mean, obviously, that's a pretty good trip for this horse as well. 53 flat. I mean, you're taking, what is that, almost 4 seconds off his lifetime mark here on the river over this 5/8 mile surface. And he's been knocking at the door. I mean, like I said, I didn't understand the price discrepancy. He beat Mickey Burke last time out, and he's, 3 times the price on the board, and he went out there and absolutely crushed. And we somehow get down a cold exact, a 3-1 and a 5-1, which I'm more than happy to take home here.
I mentioned that post 5 is the winningest post position here, and even in that fifth race, a post 5 that didn't really look very good on paper, leaves hard and gets away well, gets the lead and finishes third. And seems like from the middle of the gate you can get out and skedaddle and get to the front.
Yeah, that's kind of what a lot of the drivers have said, right? Is that it gives you the ability, middle, even to some of the outside posts, you can kind of just keep driving on to get to that early lead. But I think we both have seen that Happy Nays has kind of been sitting on an effort like this. I know that owner Russ Gorley, who you say he is the program printer, he was kind of sharing the same sentiments at Dresden Raceway, saying that this horse has been kind of racing too good to not have a victory in his last few starts. And now he gets back to the win column, second win in 5. And like I said, that was one heck of a performance.
Well, you said we both saw it. I think you can say you saw it, and you were right. Happy Nays, you get down to 3-1. 5-2-1-6, the top 4. Happy Nays, Jay Harris, 4-year-old sports writer, bay horse, owned by Russ Gorley of Orangeville. Derek Anderson's the trainer. It's the 4th win this year, 5th win lifetime. Happy Nays and the Green Arrow, Jay Harris in the 6th. 153 flat for a new career best. Out trackside note, we have the Century 21 Heritage House Group. Welcome to the Century 21 Heritage House. The 6th race payout, 5. Happy Nays. $8.50, $4.80, and $3. 2 Better on Ice, $6 and $3.80, and 1 Wise Better's Legacy, $5.30. $2 Exactor, $37.70. Dollar Try, $57.30. Dollar Super, $170.85. The sixth race, order of finish from the top down, 3257146. That's 3257146 on the bottom.
Sounds good. Right. Happy Nays getting the job done on race number 6. Keeps our late pick 5 going. But whether you had that one or not, you're still going to want to jump in on the late pick 4, starting right here in race number 7. Low takeout 15%. There's a ticket I've mapped out. Singling the 8 Capulet here in the opening leg of that sequence. Then the 2, 3, 4, and 6 in a competitive looking dash in race 8. The 5 and 6 in race 9, First Souvenir and Val Victoria, and they were 1-2 last time in that class. And I think the same plays out this evening. And then race 10, you cannot go against Wheels of Blazing, can you? From the trailing post was the easiest kind of winner last time from that same spot and comes right back in the same class. Just $1.60 for my late pick 4 ticket. Again, starting right here in race number 7. Low takeout is always just 15%, but they'll be coming out onto the track shortly for race number 7. We'll come back after the post for take a closer look at this upcoming dash.
Field for the 7th race on the track for the post parade. 1. Twin Bees Showmans. It's Scott Culver, Bob McIntosh, and Martin Stables. Number 2 is Kilmartin Commander, Dennis Duford for Ashley Duford and Betty McKinnon. And number 3, Olivia's Gold Nugget, Mike Whalen for Walter Whalen and Felix and Olivia Marion. For his Summer Crush, Samuel Fillion for Ashley Lanvoy and Gino Toscani. Number 5, Perfect Landing, Steve Houdon for Laura Toscani and Gino Toscani. Number 6, Fitness Class, Colin Kelly for Bill Budd and Hut Racing. And number 7, Pajamas Optional, Jeffrey O'Brien drives and trains and owns. 8 is Capulet, Anthony Hahn for Luke Bland, Determination. 9 is Badinsky, Todd Ratchford for Mary Ratchford and Cynthia Graham. It's a field of 9 for race number 7. Let's get a look at this field, Rob. And boy, if you want to go against a favorite, this can be the spot. Capulet's looked really good and a big-time yearling purchase, 235,000. But only 2 winners from post 8 so far in the meet through 66 races. Capulet 2-1 on the board as a co-favorite with one Twinbee Showmance.
Yeah, I love Capulet here, Gary, because you know what? We're seeing that be a key race now, right? So Capulet was, like I said, an easy winner, first over, never really asked before getting up for the victory last time. C. Trot came back to win, and then Vera Cruz, who was fourth in that effort, also came back to win tonight. So that's a key race, I think. And this one was kind of searching for room late, two back, ended up claiming this show spot to What Have I Done? And this is now forced to start back off of missing a little bit of time. And for a horse that was really meant to be a good horse, he's a 5-year-old now, and he's actually the big brother of Tuscan Prince. And for determination and Luke Blay to kind of keep this one in the mix, I think that speaks volumes of what they think his abilities are. So I couldn't go against him. 2-1, I think, is a fair price, and I'm not too concerned about the post. I think he looked pretty smooth in his last two, and I think we'll see good things from moving up in class tonight.
You also weren't concerned about the trailer post because that is your second choice, but I tell you, Batinsky is one that is coming in off of a good mile as well.
Yeah, it was a big effort to be second. I thought that he looked like a winner before She Trots a Lot got up in the last step. And trailing post for this one, obviously, you see last time trailing post did make that miscue at the raceway in London. But I think that this is kind of a different kettle of fish for him. He's facing softer company than he did in those races, and looks pretty smart on the track right now. And I think he can build off his latest effort. So as long as he can kind of get away smoothly and sit a reasonable trip, he can be right there at the wire. I like him as one of my main players underneath.
One Twinbee Showmance is taking a lot of coin. Now expect him to be better. Last race they needed a flat line after a break 2 back. Didn't leave much, but did work in the second half. But still the overall record for this horse is nothing to write home about.
And his shoes are coming off tonight, right? He's going barefoot. So I know a lot of people like getting behind that. And again, like I thought he was going to really, kind of take to the class relief last time. Wasn't really. I watched that replay a bunch of times to see if he was coming forward with any kind of authority in the late stages. He really wasn't. I mean, he was kind of coming forward a little bit, but not enough that I would get overly excited about backing him today. Right back to the pole position, which I know has had success, but I'm not so sure I like that for trotters that that has made miscues in the past. I think he's got a chance, but I mean, if I could take 2-1 on either him or Capulet, I'm going to take it on Capulet. And now 5-2 on Capulet. I'm more than happy to take that bigger price on that one.
I think the one that you've got to at least take a look at here is Perfect Landing because, except for that break last time out, the Perfect Landing has flashed nicely, has gate speed, and we've mentioned post 5 is the winningest post here. He's probably going to blast out.
Yeah, winning his post will help. And you know what? Yeah, a horse that gets forwardly placed with frequency. Last time out made that miscue. It was a costly miscue, no doubt about it. And one that, can definitely land in the exotics. Right now, 6-1, not a bad price. Again, I'm all in on Capulet. Happy with the 2-1 right now. But Perfect Landing is one you can definitely use in the exotics.
Yeah, and Capulet just bounced up to 5-2 now as Twinbee Showmance is that 8-5 price. Twinbee Showmance killed Martin Commander, Olivia's Gold Nugget on the inside. In the center is Summer Crush and Perfect Landing. To the outside, Fitness Class and Pajamas Optional and Capulet. And then Batinsky is from the trailer post. Following out the 5 right now. It's a field of 9 for race number 7. Field for the 7th race. He's at the start of the rough in perfect landing. He's going to get out sharply. Twinbee Showmance on the inside. And then it is Summer Crush and Kilmartin Commander. Pajamas Optional. Then Fitness Class on the inside. It is Olivia's Gold Nugget. Capulet is second from last, and Badinsky. And now Twinbee Showmance broke stride. Perfect landing at 7-1 has landed a sharp lead of about 3.5 lengths over Kilmartin Commander. And Summer Crush is third. Pajamas Optional is on the outside now. Olivia's Gold Nugget is racing on the pylons and is currently positioned right now fourth. As racing on the inside fifth is Fitness Class, Pajamas Optional on the outside. Then moving on the outside now, Capulet has started to roll a bit, has two beaten, and they are Badinsky and Twinbee Showmance trailing after a break in stride. 28 opening quarter, they head up to the half in perfect landing. Looks for his second panel breather, and the advantage a length and 3/4. Kilmartin Commander and Summer Crush is third. Olivia's Gold Nugget pops out from fourth. Then Fitness Class, Pajamas Optional, and then on the inside, Badinsky. Capulet still has a lot of work to do, and then it is back to Twinbee Showmance of a half of 58-2. Perfect landing as they race their way on toward 3/4. Olivia's Gold Nugget is moving right alongside Perfect Landing. Perfect Landing, though, picks up that challenge and now has a lead of a neck. Olivia's Gold Nugget on the outside. Now Olivia's Gold Nugget is going to come on and grab the lead. 3/4, 127-3, and it is Olivia's Gold Nugget. Perfect Landing, Kilmartin Commander. Then it is Summer Crush and Pajamas Optional. Capulet is firing but has a lot of work to do, and it is Olivia's Gold Nugget on down the stretch round they come. Olivia's Gold Nugget at 4-1 is streaking to the finish and has got this one sewn up. And then streaking on the outside, Twinbee Showmance after an early break. And then Pajamas Optional might have been Capulet fourth, 157-2. It was Olivia's Gold Nugget making that strike against Perfect Landing and then drawing off on the field, Rob, 157-2.
Olivia's Gold Nugget there. You know what, Capulet for me, Gary. First of all, about that one, I mean, a horse that I liked a lot tonight. When you're trying to leave out from post 8, the worst thing that can happen is the horse is directly inside you. Leave out was kind of left out in no man's land, and well, did try to make a wide move. It was never going to work the way the trip came out, but a nice steer here on the winner by Mike Whalen, making that move to the lead. It was the winning move and then just opened up daylight. I mean, Olivia's Gold Nugget's been racing well, fourth last time, second the time before that. And, getting down in class, it was the key here, right? Getting back down to the class where she was second to Sid the Kid, 2 back. And she just proves to be too much to them tonight.
And if you're looking at that slow motion replay and you notice just how much ground Twinbee Showmance after that early break made up and came flying and swept wide around the field and came on to pick up second. Now that will be the subject of the inquiry, one Twinbee Showmance, but definitely you at least got to think, keep that on the watch list now, because maybe it is that one to keep an eye on. But still, look, another break as well. That's a problem.
Yeah, the break's a problem, but again, horses that are prone to it, that work from the pole position, especially when they leave out. Like last time, got away 7th. This time, trying to push out of there, sometimes they just don't like being in that spot. Trotters that are prone to those breaks made the break in stride, like you said, massive recovery. Hopefully stays up, because he raced too good to really. Have him, get placed back after that effort. But again, one you could put on the watch list for next time, no doubt about it. But now we'll be concerned about minding his manners. But a good effort in defeat at 6-5.
This has the potential to be a nice ticket, 3-1-7-2 if the one stands. Now, actually, to be even greater ticket if the one didn't stand. But you get 35-1 and 40-1, and of course Capulet with a lot of money off the ticket.
Yeah, unfortunately, I guess I led people astray there with Capulet, who did take a lot of support at 3-1. Yeah, a couple of bombs on the end of it, right? That's what you want to see if you're ever using the y'all button in the third and fourth position in the supers. That's what you want to see: a couple of logical horses followed by some bombs.
And back in front of us, it's number 3, Olivia's Gold Nugget. A 4-year-old My MVP Bay Mare, owned by Felix and Olivia Marion. Walter Whalen's the trainer. The winning drive to Michael Whalen. First win this year, second win lifetime for Olivia's Gold Nuggets. And also note happy birthday to Joanne, who is turning 50, and Tracy, who's turning 60. Giddy up. Joanne and Tracy celebrating birthdays this evening at Grand River. Fans note the judge's ruling that one Twinbee showmance did not violate the braking regulations and will stand second. The inquiry sign will go off. The seventh race payouts 3. Olivia's Gold Nugget 1030 440 321. Twinbee Showman's 280 267. Pajamas optional 760. $2 exactor 3090. Dollar try 115.05. Dollar super 1100 22.25. The seventh race. Order of finish from the top down 241 879 356. That's 241 879 356. Field for the eighth race. On Post Parade. Number 1 is Summer Lovin'. It's Carl Thomas driving and training for Carmel Racing. Number 2 is Wifey Said So. Travis Cullen drives for Jody Cullen and Keith Hanna, and Ronald Cullen and Travis shares in ownership. Number 3 is Ladysmith. Brett McDonough for Richard Moreau and Michelle Legacy. Number 4 is No Money Honey. Jason Ryan for Mike Witnioski and Stuart and Patricia Bolander. Number 5, Plaisir. Jimmy Gagnon drives and trains and owns. Number 6, Fashion Forward. Anthony Hahn from Crone and Hut Racing. And number 7 is Siri Sealster. Colin Kelly for Ben Wallace and Wallace Stanbreds and Terry Crowway. It's a field of 7. It's race number 8. Let's get a look at this field. And Rob, No Money Honey finally gets a better post after a couple of 8s here, and raced extremely well last time up. We both saw that final quarter. Very impressive.
Yeah, it was. It was a very impressive final quarter, impressive performance, and you know what? Has raced really well in each of her last 2 since coming to Grand River. Both times post 8, Gary. This time post 4, and you know I couldn't not put this one on top after we kind of noted that she's got to go on the watch list last time, but I just thought this is a pretty competitive looking dash. But That's why I kind of spread it a little bit in the multi-leg wagers, but she's still the one that I was going to on top no matter what. But you've got to swallow that 5-2 price after she was 39-1 and 42-1 in each of her last two. But love the way she looks in the track right now.
And she was a decent earner last year. Only a couple of wins last year, but 42,000 made in 32 starts. No Money Honey compares nicely in here. The one that we both think is the main threat, and Ken Middleton took on top, Ladysmith, and well, it is Brett McDonald and Richard Moreau.
Yeah, you can never really ignore those connections, right? You've always got to respect the McDonald Moreau connection. And last time out, second, they gave me a Corona. You only beaten half a length at Georgian Downs in kind of a similar race. This Girl Rules was third in there too, so it's another good form reference for this one. And I think you've got to kind of look at this as okay. Well, that was first start, back around these parts, and now it's second start for Richard Moreau, who's had this horse before. So I think that Ladysmith right now is the value at 9-2. I kind of looked at this race and thought that she'd likely take a lot of support, maybe not as much as the 8-5 morning line, but she would take quite a bit of it. And yeah, an overlay right now at 9-2, and one that I'll be using as a main player underneath.
Both No Money Honey and Ladysmith have a little tendency to be windshine. Look at last year how they match up: 2 wins and 6 runner-up finishes. And then they both have runner-up finishes this year, but without wins. So if we look elsewhere, well, the tote board's also telling us Fashion Forward's worth a consideration.
Yeah, and Fashion Forward won with more frequency last year, right? 4 for 20, 11 on the board finishes. This year, just 5 on the board finishes and 15 tries. But the victories that she's had, those 2 victories were really impressive. She was first over a long way in both of them. One of them came right here at the River 2 back. Last time tried different tactics, went to the lead, middle stages, fade back to third in a race that was won by Royal Tell. I think that she's kind of seems like a horse too that kind of every odd start she kind of finds her best effort again. Maybe that's what happens tonight. Another horse that I think's a reasonable price at 3-1, and one that I'll be using everywhere underneath in the exotics.
And of course, always Travis Cullen, Jody Cullen will attract money. But Wifey Said So. Look, I have loved a lot of Jody Cullen's horses. This is one that I haven't been getting behind, and has had some decent starts, but hasn't won this year. And last year had only 3 wins. Wifey Said So.
Yeah, I thought Wifey Said So might be a bigger price than the 3-1 right now. I know 5-2 morning line, but I was expecting about 6-1 on this one. Last time out, second to Playa de Hurrah, was 4th against similar horses last time, and to me, I thought that she could have raced better in that effort when she took even more support. So, no higher than the bottom end of the try and super for me. And No Money Honey's one I'm going to stick with on top.
Well, we're both on No Money Honey. We expect to get the winner's money, but it's an interesting dash with Summer Lovin' on the inside. Wifey Said So. In the center, Ladysmith, No Money Honey, Place Here. On the outside, Fashion Forward and Siri Sealster. It's a field of 7. It's the 8th race on this fine evening at Grand River as the rain has gone away and the track is pretty good shape. They're nearing the start. Ladysmith is going to blast out quickest of all. Summer Lovin' on the inside. Then it is Fashion Forward. Wifey Said So. No Money Honey. Siri Sealster. And Place Here is trailing the field. Summer Lovin' at 30-1. Wants to drive through on the inside and insisting on the lead. And Ladysmith now is going to take back and find a spot on the inside second for Brett McDonald. Then a gap of a length and a half. And Fashion Forward third. No Money Honey is in mid-pack fourth. Then it is Wifey Said So. Then it is back to Siri Sealster and Place Here is trailing the field. But Summer Lovin' has the lead for Carl Thomas. Advantages a length and a half as they race their way on past us. Then it is Ladysmith, Fashion Forward. And racing fourth is No Money Honey, still to the inside. And now No Money Honey's going to pop out as they race their way on around the turn. And stepping out from the pocket, Ladysmith does not want to sit behind the long shot Summer Lovin' and is going to challenge. Summer Lovin's got the lead still, though. Lead is about a half a length, and Ladysmith on the outside is working, and Summer Lovin' is driving on, and Fashion Forward is racing third. Wifey Said So is going to scoot up the inside. No Money Honey He's going to take a look out 3 wide. Now is coming on to get the lead. Lady Smith over Summit 11, who's hanging very tough. No Money Honey now 3 wide and closing like a freight train, and then Fashion Forward. Then it is Wifey Said So in Series Sealster and Player Sear. Lady Smith, but No Money Honey has dead aim. Lady Smith and No Money Honey. Summer Lovin' is hanging tough on the inside and is still in the hunt. Fashion Forward. And then it is Series Sealster. Wifey Said So in Place Here. 3/4, 124 and 4 off that half of 56, and it is No Money Honey and Lady Smith on down the stretch where they come. No Money Honey and Lady Smith. No Money Honey's got the late lead. No Money Honey is going to win. Lady Smith second. Then it was Series Sealster and Fashion Forward. No Money Honey, a mile of 154 flat, and it worked out. No Money Honey, we mentioned, was closing well in the 2 trips from post position 8, and well, it was another closing effort. Things were really helped out also as Lady Smith had to work a little harder because of a Summer Lovin's work on the lead.
Winning ever from No Money Honey, but how about getting hammered down to 1-2, Gary? I mean, we were getting 2-1 going to the gates. All the money came in on No Money Honey, and it definitely helped by those quick early fractions. And when Jason Ryan kind of flipped the switch on her, you could see it's just a matter of time before she forges past Lady Smith, who had to work really hard at earlier points in that race, and kind of just edges away here in deep stretch. But Lady Smith thought she was the main one to use underneath. She turned in a really good effort, right? She battled Summer Levin a long way before finally getting to the lead herself. And the exacta kind of plays out logical here.
And Series Sealster actually moves up and picks up a third. A horse that we liked a little bit at times last year. The last race at London for Series Sealster wasn't particularly all that good and has been off since May the 28th, but that was a nice closing effort. Was racing well before that last one, though.
I like that effort today because she's a horse that I always think does her best work on the engine or forwardly placed. So when she comes from off the pace, you got to take notice of her for next time. I think that she's one that better post next time out. We'll see her get forwardly placed and she'll do good things. So she's going to hit the watch list, but it's going to depend who she hooks.
Back in front of us, number 4, No Money Honey, 4-year-old All Bet Off Bay mare, owned by Stuart and Patricia Bolander. Mike White-Nioski is the trainer. It's the driving hat trick for Jason Ryan. First win on the year. Third lifetime. No Money Honey gets the winner's money. And note that is a new career best for No Money Honey at 54 flat. Eighth race payouts for No Money Honey, 310, 250, 250. 3 Ladysmith, 390, 320. 7 Series Sealster, 670. $2 exact, 970. Dollar try, 102.30. Dollar super, 270, 320. 8th race. Order of finish from the top down. 752-1643. That's 752-1643 on the bottom. Ninth race. Post parade. One Royal Tell. Mark McDonnell for Jody Cullen and A1 Stable. Number 2 is True That. Carl Thomas drives and trains for Carmel Racing. And number 3 is Shimar's Lady Havoc. Scott Quiller for Sheila Lewis. And for Dinner and Dancing, Scott Young for Gord McDonnell. 5, he's first of an era. Colin Kelly for Jason Libby and Douglas Dunbar. And number 6, just joining us, Val Victorian, Travis Cullen for Jody Cullen and A1 Stable. Field of 6, race number 9. Let's get a look at this field kicking off the late daily double. And Rob, I could have gone either way with the 5 or 6, but if the odds stayed the way they are, I wouldn't be going to the 5 on top. First of an Era, though, certainly does deserve some favorite status as we're looking at Val Victorian join us. First of an Era, there is Colin Kelly.
Favoritism here, and maybe not as big as a discrepancy as 1 to 2, 1 to 3 to 1, but that was a monstrous effort last time. It went to the lead. Wasn't like she just sat the pocket the entire mile. She went to the early lead, released Val Victorian, and then kind of went past her with some ease in the stretch. Anyways, 28-2 on the end of that mile. 6-1 return was still one that I couldn't believe. It was a real healthy return on First Venera. First start for Jason Libby. Now, getting back on that regular rotation. Second start for this barn. Let's get on the track, and I think we'll likely see a similar trip this time out. But yeah, 1 to 2. Certainly a far cry from that 6-1 last time.
Yeah, and of course, Jody Cullen has his share of success, but so does Jason Libby over the years. They've both put up some strong numbers, and first have never got the better of Val Victorian. But also, I've been watching Val Victorian. One start at Flamborough, one at Georgian Downs, and they were really good. And you also saw that win May the 3rd, crushing win in a nominator 2 at Mohawk in 53-1, just romped on the field.
Yeah, and she's won 3 of her last 5, right? And I mean, last time out, no shame in finishing second. And it was, kind of a big opening, quarter before coming around, first of an era. I think you're right. I mean, the better win value right now is obviously Val Victorian at 3-1 versus the 3-5. Because if you were to say, are they kind of interchangeable? I think to an extent they are, but I just thought First Venera, raced pretty good and has reason to actually improve off that effort as well. So they're going to end up being the 2 hefty favorites in here. I think it comes down to those 2, and it might even lined up in the same order we saw last time. So again, you're better value in the win ticket Val Victorian, but I'm still not going to side against First Venera off her latest.
And I always like to split the 2 favorites onto the exactor if possible. Royal Tell is the one that we both think is third best. So does the tote board. Of course, Jody Cullen sends that one up, gets the inside, and is also off a win in 54-1, which compares pretty nicely.
Yeah, and she absolutely crushed last time against a softer group. I mean, this is obviously deeper waters now for Royal Tell. But 2 back, I thought raced pretty well at this level. Came from a long way out of it to be 4th and was only beaten 3/4 of a length. She's been favorite in each of her last 2. Obviously, only 20 cents to the dollar last time when she converted. And Rail Control is probably a good spot for her because she's one that kind of does her best work in the late stages. So I think she'll probably be looking for that one big run late in the mile. And looks like the most logical one to round out the trifecta.
And then you went True That as your next one. And, I did see True That race well at Flamborough a couple of times back in the spring. But that last race here, it didn't really accomplish much.
No, I mean, for me, it kind of just comes down to the, trip scenario. I think True That's likely just going to try to hide out along the cones, right? And when you're kind of heavily involved in a couple of favorites towards the top end of the exotics, Tri and Super, if it runs out, in order the way it plays out on the tote board, it's not going to pay very much at all. So you've got to try to find some value underneath, and I thought True That was one that is good enough to get a piece of this with the right kind of a trip. And 23-1, maybe she helps add some value.
I went to Dinner and Dancing next because I thought does show winning at London and getting off the gate well, and had post 8 here last time out. So Dinner and Dancing I thought is one that might get a sleeper play out of to get onto the ticket at 13-1. But right now, heavily favored status on first of an era, 1-2. They take up their positions. Royal Tell, True That. In the center, Shimar's Lady Havoc and Dinner and Dancing. And to the outside, it is First of an Era and Val Victorian. It's a field of 6. It is race number 9. And the field for the 9th race is in position, and they're at the start, and they're off, and Dinner and Dancing is going to dance out quickly with First of an Era and Val Victorian, then Royal Chow, Shimar's Lady Havoc, and True That is trailing the field. First of an Era is able to come on and grab the lead, but Val Victorian still pressing on the outside. Dinner and Dancing is racing third, and now Val Victorian's going to find the pocket in front of Dinner and Dancing. Then it is back to Royal Chow, Shimar's Lady Havoc, and True That is trailing the field 26-4 the opening quarter, and it was put up by First of an Era. Val Victorian rides along in the pocket behind First of an Era. Dinner and Dancing third. Royal Tell is racing fourth in the trailing pair, Shimar's Lady Havoc and True That. Off at 26-4 opening quarter. Field heads up towards the half, and it is First of an Era looking for a second panel breather, with Val Victorian right there bravening up in the pocket position as they work their way on down the backstretch. Lively half, 55-1. Dinner and Dancing holds on to third right now, about 5 lengths off the lead of First of an Era, 1-5 on the board. Royal Tell pops to the outside from fourth. Then Shimar's Lady Havoc and True That. It is First of an Era, Val Victorian. Royal Tell has come on to get third now. Then Dinner and Dancing and Shimar's Lady Havoc and True That. First of an Era continues on 3/4, 123-3. And it is First of an Era. Still first, Val Victorian second. Royal Tell third. Dinner and Dancing trying to hold on to fourth. Then Shimar's Lady Havoc and True That, they turn for home. It is still First of an Era. Val Victorian on down the stretch. Round they come. First of an Era just drives away. First of an Era. Val Victorian second best. Then it is Royal Tell. And for fourth, holding on for fourth was Dinner and Dancing. But First of an Era, if you thought maybe Val Victorian was going to try to track that one down in the stretch, yeah, that wasn't happening, Rob. It's just First of an Era was clearly the best.
Yeah, clearly the best thing. And you know what? The trip kind of goes the opposite this time, and why not, right? How good she raced last time. Why not put her on the engine? That's what they did. Val Victorian had some room to drop in the 2-hole, followed that one around the racetrack. But First of an Era took, even a step forward, I think, off that latest effort, and has really been racing kind of lights out for Jason Libby since getting to that barn. And back-to-back victories, and both times much the best, Gary, and beating a good one like you said. Val Victorian is certainly no slouch. I mean, she's been racing fantastic, and she wasn't able to put any kind of a dent in the margin that First of an Era had.
Yeah, and it looked like Travis Cullen was pretty aware of that too, because horses, drivers know the horses, they know who's what, and Travis is a very sharp driver, and no slouch for Val Victorian finishing second, but I think he knew that he didn't have a lot of chance to pick that one up.
No, yeah, I think he knew pretty quickly on the top of the turn there that he wasn't going to get the First of an Era, but clearly the best of the rest in the Cullen barn with a couple of nice entrants in there, end up finishing second and third, and it's like I said, I mean, the race kind of plays out exactly the way it was bet on the tote board, right? First of an Era wins it, Val Victorian second, Royal Tell third, and then Dinner and Dancing fourth. I just tried to, get a price on the bottom end of the super to try to get some value on there, but I mean that was the way that it looked like it was going to play out, and it did.
And my only thought with Dinner and Dancing is I knew that one would probably at least blast out, and did tire late, but stuck around for fourth.
Yeah, it did stick around for fourth, and a horse that she does her best work when she blasts off the wings of the gate. She tried that again tonight, but she doesn't have the horsepower to go with the top two finishers. That's why I think she elected to sit in the 3-hole. And despite kind of gapping out, she still managed to get a piece in fourth, so decent effort for her.
A formful ninth, 5-6-1-4. Back in front of us is number 5. First of an Era, 4-year-old JK, End of an Era, brown mare. Colin Kelly, the winning drive. The owner is Douglas Dunbar and Jason Libby, and Jason is also the trainer's second win this year, 7th lifetime, First of an Era. Ninth race payouts 5, first of an era, 270, 210, 6 valve Victorian 210, $2 exactor 380, dollar try 365, the dollar super 725. Ninth race order finish from the top is 356412. That's 356412 on the bottom. Field for the 10th race on parade 1. April Duford. Dennis Duford for Ashley Duford. Number 2 at Lincoln's Landing. Steve Houdon for Laura Toscani. And the owner is Gino Toscani. Number 3 is Ultra Lady Estag. Hendrickson drives and trains and owns. Number 4, Magic Hush, Travis Henry for Dr. John Chandler. 5 is Vimy Ridge Venti, Phil Houdon for Steve Lombard and Paul Mazzetti. Number 6, M.I. Radical, Travis Cullen for Dave Holiday and Caroline Holiday and Dennis Hanneth. Number 7 is Bold Landing, Austin Sorry for Laura Toscani and Gino Toscani. 8 is scratched. And number 9, Wheels of Blazin', Tyler Moore for Paul Cameron and Arnold's Horse Shack. Field of 8, race 10, let's get right to it. Well, Rob, last time out, Wheels of Blazin', you got a little more than 3 to 1 on this horse. If you backed him to win and he dominated, you're not going to get 3 to 1 tonight.
No, not even close to that price, Gary, because he was so good. I mean, I was amazed at the efforts. Left me speechless after the race. 3 to 1 on that occasion. I was a big fan of Sid the Kid. Sid the Kid actually raced good in that dash, and Wheels of Blazin' blew him off the track. So got away 5th, came first up, and just powered past them to absolutely crush. Right back in the same class, same starting spot. I couldn't go against him, and right now he's 1 to 2 on the board. It's so strong that there's no show wagering in this race either. So I just think that he's just one that as long as he minds his manners, he's a slam dunk in here. And as of late, he's been doing exactly that.
I think you got to nail the exactor to get any kind of a price here. And your thought was Travis Cullen for David Holiday, Am I Radical? Really good last year, just a 3rd start this year.
Yeah, Am I Radical is one that we've been kind of chasing after 2 starts ago. Got very unlucky, ended up kind of trapped to the inside, backed up, and was coming forward with trot on the end of that mile. Last time out, was driven to win and ended up kind of just not being able to get the better of one like BBC Sports Boy and All Out Maryland. Ended up rounding out the try to them, but I thought that both those horses raced really well in front of them. And they're both off to Mohawk Park for their next starts. So, Am I Radical is my clear choice underneath here. Love the addition of Travis Cullen. Right kind of trip. Maybe can, be right there with Wheels of Blazin' at the wire. And if you're looking for an upsetter, 8 to 1 on that one's not a bad number.
Yeah, the one the fans think is the right one on the exactor ticket is April Duford. 3 starts go blasted from post 5 to make the lead. And April Duford on the inside. And by the way, post 1 is tied for 2nd best post position here. So post 1 can do the job from the inside.
Yeah, it can. And April Duford last time was facing off against a pretty solid group in Sarnia. That's non-winners of 37.50 last 3. And this is now back to non-winners of lifetime earnings. And you can see, I think she's one that can be more than capable against this level of competition. She's fitting it on the not averaging per start condition, not on the lifetime earnings condition. So I love it when horses kind of get it in on that also eligible condition that's added in. Rail control, better post than what she's had as of late. And like you said, it's having success here at the River. I do like this one to hit the trifecta.
And then the winningest post here so far during the meet is 5. And Vimy Ridge Venti, that last race is probably better than it looks at first glance.
It is, yeah. Nose back on gate, right? That's kind of the big thing for Vimy Ridge Venti, a horse that in the past had made miscues. So you never like the trailing spot for a horse like that, but managed to stay flat. A decent 5th, 28-3 on the end of it, and now from that winningest post, maybe can do some damage against this group. 9 to 1, one that you have to use in the high 5 wagers.
And then how are you going to round out your super high 5?
For me, the 3, Ultra Lady. The 3 Ultra Lady for Dag Fing Hendrickson. This horse, I think, can show more than what she's shown in recent efforts. Good third, 4 starts to go at Mohawk Park. And, getting back in a regular rotation, decent post to work from Consider Trip, and 20 to 1 on the board. Maybe you'll add some value to the ticket.
Well, Wheels Ablazing is the 3 to 5 favorite as they take up their positions. April Duford. Lincoln's Landing, Ultra Lady S in the center. Magicosh, Vimy Ridge Venti to the outside. Am I Radical and Bold Landing? And the second tier, Wheels Ablazing. It's a field of 8. It's the 10th dash on this Wednesday evening. They're nearing the start. And they're off and getting out quickly. Ultra Lady S, Am I Radical? Magic Hush, now on the inside, April Duford, and now racing fourth is Lincoln's Landing. Magic Hush is now fifth. Vimy Ridge Venti is sixth. Wheels Ablazing has just one beaten right now. That is Bold Landing. Am I Radical is going to come on and now try to clear to the front. Am I Radical is challenging Ultra Lady S for the lead. Ultra Lady S with the inside advantage, and Am I Radical and Travis Cullen still working on the outside. Opening quarter 27-4. Am I Radical is looking to clear the lead and now is able to do so. Ultra Lady S is racing second. April Duford forwardly placed third. Lincoln's Landing moves to the outside, giving cover to Vimy Ridge Venti. Then it is Magic Hush, and second from last still is Wheels Ablazing, the heavy favorite, but now is moving within striking distance at least, and then it is back to Bold Landing. Up at 27-4 opening quarter. They work their way on past the half of 57-2, and it is Am I Radical and Lincoln's Landing. Ultra Lady S and Vimy Ridge Venti. Wheels Ablazing steadily advancing on the outside fifth and is only about 4 off the lead and is right now racing third over. Then it is April Duford and Magic Hush and Bold Landing, and it is still Am I Radical with the lead, but Am I Radical is being pestered right now by Lincoln's Landing, and then Ultra Lady S and Vimy Ridge Venti, and there goes Wheels Ablazing now. Is out 3 wide. Now carried out 4 wide. Is getting out 3 wide and moving is Vimy Ridge Venti. Wheels Ablazing 4 wide and now is charging. Wheels Ablazing now is able to be in the 3 wide lane. Wheels Ablazing, Vimy Ridge Venti, and Am I Radical as they turn for home. Vimy Ridge Venti turns the corner on down the stretch drive. They come. Wheels Ablazing still has work to do. Vimy Ridge Venti. Vimy Ridge Venti is going to turn back Wheels Ablazing, who tires at the finish. Vimy Ridge Venti with the upset. Wheels Ablazing. Then it looked like Ultra Lady S and Am I Radical and April Duford 157-1. Rob, halfway around that final turn, I thought Wheels Ablazing's going to blow on by, but really, Vimy Ridge Venti turned the corner and kept on going, and Wheels Ablazing, with all that work to do, being out so wide in the final turn, did kind of hit the wall.
He did, kind of hit the wall. I also think he got a little bit steppy. Look, he had to be steadied by Tyler Moore in the stretch there. The difference, obviously, between the trips, Gary, is last time, first over, was able to go on the attack without much, adversity other than overcoming a first over journey. This time around, third up, had to go wide in the turn. And you see, I think he just got a little bit stumbly there too in the stretch. You see Tyler kind of has a hold of him coming to the wire, but there was no catching Vimy Ridge Venti. When that one kind of took off at the head of the stretch, he was gone. And we said it, right? Different post scenario for that one was put more into play tonight and wins it off a second over trip. Nice steer from Phil Hood on there.
Yeah, and Wheels Ablazing probably gets a little steppy because he's getting pretty tired. Look, other than St. Lad's Criminal, that drive and out that wide from that post, that's about the only horse that overcomes that with ease.
Yeah, we haven't really seen much on the trotting side too, right? But the pacing, we've seen it not much on the trotting side, and again, the road trouble, the traffic in front of him was the difference this time around. Last time, got away fifth, was able to come first over with no one in his way. This time, had to do a lot more work and just could not stick with Vimy Ridge Venti, but still raced well to be second. I mean, he only disappoints he's the favorite, but still a good effort to be second.
And it is 5-9-3-6-1, the top 5 for your Super High 5. Should pay nicely with Wheels Ablazing not being on top.
Yeah, I think it would be a nice payout here. Ultra Lady, by the way, kind of gave fits to Am I Radical early on. Comes back on for third at 23-1. That's one to watch for next time. She turned a pretty good effort.
Back in front of us is number 5, Vimy Ridge Venti, and Phil Hood on. Vimy Ridge Ventes, a 4-year-old My MVP Bay Horse, owned by Paul Massetti of Guelph. Steve Lawren's the trainer. Second win this year, third lifetime. Vimy Ridge Vente and Phil the Thrill with a thrilling effort in the 10th and 157-1. Tenth race payouts, 5 Vimy Ridge Vente, $9.70 and $3.90. 9 Wheels Ablazing, $2.70. The $2 exactor of 5 and 9. Note the $2 exactor numbers 5 and 9 returns. $24.70. Dollar try, $63.30. Double of 5 and 5, $15.10.
Yeah, graphics a little slow sometimes.
Note the $1 pick 3. Pays $24.95, if my math is correct. Oh, bingo. Dollar pick 4, $161.85. Dollar pick 5, $689.30. The dollar high 5, $800. It's $61.45. Kaboom, shakalaka. The 10th race order finish from the top down. 573 8146 scratch 2. That's 573 8146 scratch 2 on the bottom. Fans, that does conclude the live harness racing program for this Wednesday evening. Our next live racing event is this coming Friday. There's a look at the show photo from race number 10, where Ultra Lady S picks up third over MI Radical. Note racing action on this Friday, 6:30 p.m. Buenas noches, amigos. Good night, everybody. Good night, Casey.